You know what's holding most people back? They spend their time focusing on everything except themselves. They obsess over what others think. They compare their journey to someone else's. They scroll endlessly through social media, measuring their worth against filtered snapshots of someone else's life. They waste energy worrying about things outside their control. But here's the truth. Your life is a direct reflection of where you place your focus. If you constantly focus on problems, distractions, and things that don't serve you, that's exactly what will grow in your life. But the moment you shift that focus inward onto your growth, your habits, your discipline, everything starts to fall into place. Because confidence, success, fulfillment, none of these things come from the outside. They come from within. And the people who create extraordinary lives, they're not lucky. They're not waiting for the perfect moment. They've simply made the decision to focus on themselves. You want more confidence? Stop waiting for people to validate you. Stop relying on likes, comments, or someone else's approval to feel good about yourself. Confidence isn't given, it's built. And it's built through action. You show up for yourself. You make commitments and you keep them. You follow through even when you don't feel like it. Every time you do this, you're proving to yourself that you are capable. That's how confidence is formed. You want success? Stop wasting time worrying about what everyone else is doing. Stop scrolling, stop comparing, stop measuring your progress against someone else's timeline. The only person you need to compete with is the person you were yesterday. If you make one small improvement every single day, imagine where you'll be in a year. Success isn't about making one massive leap. It's about the tiny, consistent actions you take over time. It's waking up and choosing discipline over comfort. It's choosing progress over perfection. It's knowing that every time you take action, even if it's imperfect, you're moving forward. Think about how much energy you waste on things that don't serve you. The overthinking, the self-doubt, the fear of judgment. What if for the next 30 days, you made a commitment to yourself, a commitment to only focus on your own growth? What if you woke up every morning and asked, how can I make myself 1% better today? Imagine what would happen if you stopped pouring your energy into distractions and started pouring it into your goals, your mindset, your habits. Everything would change. And here's the thing, when you focus on yourself, you level up. And when you level up, everything around you follows. Your relationships improve because you're no longer seeking validation. You're bringing confidence to the table. Your career grows because you're focused on your own skills instead of someone else's success. Your mindset shifts because you're no longer waiting for the right circumstances. You're creating them. But most people never get there because they're waiting for motivation, waiting for the right time, waiting for permission. Let me tell you something. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to wake you up and force you to chase your dreams. No one is going to give you the life you want. That's on you. But the second you decide to stop waiting and start moving, that's the moment everything starts falling into place. The world isn't going to stop distracting you. Social media isn't going to disappear. Opinions aren't going to go away. The only thing you have control over is what you choose to focus on. So today, make the decision to focus on yourself. Make the decision to commit to your growth. Pick one thing, just one, that will move your life forward and take action. No excuses, no waiting, just movement. Because the second you focus on yourself, everything else will fall into place. Energy is everything. Where you place your attention is exactly where your energy flows, and that determines the direction of your life. Think about it. How much of your time is spent worrying about what others are doing? How often do you catch yourself comparing, overthinking, and getting caught up in distractions that pull you away from your own goals? Every minute you spend focused on things that don't serve you is a minute you take away from building the life you want. The truth is, Most people are exhausted not because they're doing too much, but because they're giving too much energy to the wrong things. They're pouring their focus into people who don't support them, into problems they can't control, into fear, into self-doubt, into everything except their own growth. And then they wonder why they feel stuck. They wonder why they aren't making progress. But the answer is simple. They haven't learned to protect their focus. Your energy is your most valuable resource. You have a limited amount of it every single day, and what you do with it determines your future. If you waste it worrying about what people think of you, you're giving away your power. If you spend it obsessing over someone else's success, you're stealing time from your own potential. If you allow distractions to dictate your day, you're handing over control of your life. But the moment you decide to take that energy and direct it toward yourself, everything starts to shift. Imagine what would happen if, instead of worrying about whether people like you, you focused on liking yourself. Imagine if, instead of overanalyzing your mistakes, you focused on what you could learn from them. Imagine if, instead of wishing for a better life, you actually started building one. That shift, moving from external focus to internal focus, is the key to unlocking everything you've been chasing. Because here's the thing, success isn't about talent, luck, or waiting for the perfect opportunity. It's about where you place your energy every single day. The people who achieve their goals aren't necessarily the smartest or the most gifted. They're the ones who know how to focus. They're the ones who understand that their energy is sacred and that wasting it on things that don't move them forward is a losing game. Look at the people who inspire you, the ones who are living the kind of life you dream about. Do you think they got there by spending hours scrolling through social media, envying someone else's journey? No. They got there by locking in on their own path. They got there by being relentless about their goals. They got there by protecting their focus like their future depended on it, because it did. And your future depends on it too. If you want to change your life, start by changing where you place your energy. Cut out the distractions, set boundaries, stop letting other people's opinions dictate your decisions. Be intentional about what you give your time to, because every second you waste on something that doesn't serve you is a second you could have spent getting better, stronger, and closer to your goals. This is why focus is everything. You don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You don't need someone to come save you. You just need to stop leaking energy into things that don't matter and start channeling it into what does. Because the moment you do, you'll realize something powerful. You were never stuck. You were just distracted. And when you finally learn to focus on yourself, everything else will fall into place. Success isn't about one big moment. It's not about waking up one day, making a grand decision, and suddenly transforming your entire life. That's a fantasy. Real success, the kind that lasts, is built in the small, ordinary moments. It's in the tiny, consistent choices you make every single day. The problem is, most people don't see that. They think they need a breakthrough, a perfect opportunity, or a sudden wave of motivation to start moving forward. But the truth is, what you do in the smallest moments of your life is what determines your future. Think about it. Every morning you wake up with a choice. Do you hit snooze or do you get up and take control of your day? Do you scroll mindlessly on your phone or do you take a few minutes to plan your priorities? Do you make excuses for why you can't go after what you want? Or do you take one small step forward? These choices may seem insignificant in the moment, but they compound over time. They build habits, and those habits shape your future. The problem is most people underestimate the power of small decisions. They think success is about massive action, so they wait. They wait for the perfect timing, the perfect plan, the perfect mindset before they start. And because they're waiting, nothing changes. But here's the thing. Small actions taken consistently are more powerful than any big action taken once. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You just need to start. If you want to be more disciplined, start by keeping one promise to yourself today, just one. If you want to be healthier, start by making one better food choice. If you want to be more productive, start by eliminating one distraction. That's it. One small decision repeated over time is what separates those who succeed from those who don't. Most people quit because they don't see results fast enough. They expect instant gratification. They go to the gym for a week, see no change, and give up. They start working on a goal, hit a roadblock, and assume it's not meant to be. But success doesn't work like that. Progress is invisible at first. You won't always see the results immediately, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. Growth is happening beneath the surface. Just because you can't see it yet doesn't mean it's not working. Imagine planting a seed. You water it every day, but for weeks nothing seems to happen. It looks like a waste of time, but beneath the soil, roots are growing, the foundation is being built. And one day, seemingly out of nowhere, that seed breaks through the ground. That's exactly how success works. It starts with tiny, unseen efforts that eventually lead to massive results. But most people never stick around long enough to see it through. This is why consistency matters more than motivation. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. You won't always feel like taking action, and that's okay. You don't need to feel like it. You just need to do it anyway. That's what discipline is, choosing to show up even when you don't want to. The best part? When you stay consistent long enough, it stops being hard. The things you once struggled to do become second nature. That's the power of habits. They take effort at first, but eventually they become part of who you are. And when that happens, success isn't something you chase, it's something you naturally create. So stop looking for shortcuts. Stop waiting for the right moment. Stop underestimating the power of small daily actions. Your future is being built right now in the choices you make today. Commit to the process, stay consistent, and trust that even when you can't see it yet, everything is falling into place. Most people spend their entire lives chasing approval. They want validation from their parents, their friends, their boss, even strangers on the internet. They adjust their choices based on what others will think. They hold back from pursuing what they really want because they're afraid of being judged. They shrink themselves to fit into someone else's expectations. But here's the truth. The moment you stop seeking external validation is the moment you become truly free. Think about it. How much of your life has been shaped by other people's opinions? How many times have you stopped yourself from taking a risk because you were afraid of failing in front of others? How many times have you made a decision not because it was right for you, but because you thought it would make someone else happy? You were not put on this earth to live according to someone else's rules. You were not born to fit into a mold that society, your family, or your peers have created for you. You are here to live your life. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you can step into your full potential. The need for approval is a trap. It keeps you stuck. It makes you second guess yourself. It makes you afraid to be different, afraid to stand out, afraid to take chances. But the truth is, no matter what you do, people will have opinions. No matter how hard you try to please everyone, someone will always disapprove. That's life. So why waste your energy trying to be something you're not? The most successful, fulfilled people in the world are the ones who have learned to trust themselves. They don't ask for permission to chase their dreams. They don't wait for someone to tell them they're good enough. They decide they're good enough. They know that their worth isn't tied to external validation. It comes from within. When you finally let go of the need for approval, something incredible happens. You start making choices based on what's best for you. You start setting boundaries. You stop saying yes to things that drain you. You stop feeling the pressure to conform, and in that space, you finally discover who you really are. This isn't about being selfish. It's about recognizing that your life belongs to you. It's about understanding that the only person you need to impress is yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're the one who has to live with your choices. You're the one who has to wake up every morning and look in the mirror. So ask yourself, are you living in a way that makes you proud, or are you just trying to impress people who wouldn't even notice if you disappeared tomorrow? It's time to stop seeking approval and start seeking alignment. What do you really want? What excites you? What feels right to you, even if it doesn't make sense to anyone else? That's your path. Follow it. And yes, it will be uncomfortable at first. When you stop seeking validation, people will notice. Some will criticize you. Some will call you selfish. Some will try to pull you back into the version of yourself that made them comfortable. That's okay. Let them. Your job is not to make others comfortable. Your job is to live your truth. The irony is, when you stop chasing approval, people start respecting you more. Confidence is magnetic. People are drawn to those who know who they are and don't apologize for it. But here's the thing. You can't fake it. Confidence comes from actually trusting yourself, from making choices that align with who you are, from proving to yourself that you are strong enough to stand on your own. So starting today, stop waiting for permission. Stop asking for validation. Stop letting fear of judgment hold you back. Your life is happening right now. Don't waste another second living it for someone else. Trust yourself, believe in yourself, and watch how everything else starts to fall into place. In today's world, it's almost impossible to escape the noise. Social media, news, opinions. Everyone is shouting, telling you who you should be, what you should do, how you should think. It's overwhelming. And if you're not careful, you'll lose yourself in it. You'll start living according to other people's expectations instead of your own truth. You'll start drowning in distractions, unable to hear your own voice. And before you know it, you'll wake up one day and realize you've been living someone else's life instead of your own. The problem isn't that you don't know what you want. Deep down, you do. The problem is that there's too much noise around you, making you doubt yourself. The opinions of others, the pressure to fit in, the constant comparisons, they cloud your judgment. They make you second guess your dreams. They keep you stuck in a cycle of overthinking, hesitation, and fear. But here's the truth. The answers you're looking for are already inside you. You just have to silence the noise long enough to hear them. When was the last time you spent time alone? No phone, no distractions, no outside opinions, just you and your thoughts. Most people are terrified of being alone with themselves. They fill every empty moment with distractions, scrolling, binge watching, texting, because they don't want to sit in silence. They don't want to face the truth that's been trying to get their attention. But if you want clarity in your life, you have to create space for it. You have to be willing to step away from the noise, because when you do, something powerful happens. Your mind settles. Your intuition gets louder. You start to recognize what truly matters to you, what excites you, what feels right, without anyone else's input. This is why successful people prioritize solitude. They understand that growth, creativity, and clarity don't come from constant stimulation. They come from stillness. They come from taking a step back, disconnecting from the chaos, and reconnecting with themselves. So if you feel lost, if you feel stuck, if you feel like you're constantly looking for answers outside of yourself, it's time to turn inward. It's time to step away from the noise, take a break from social media, stop asking everyone else for their opinion, stop filling every free moment with distractions. Instead, spend time with yourself. Journal, go for a walk, meditate. Just sit in silence and listen. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. Your mind will resist it. It will search for distractions. But if you stay with it, if you push through the discomfort, you'll start to feel something you haven't felt in a long time: clarity. You'll start to hear your own thoughts again. You'll start to trust yourself again. And when that happens, everything changes. Because once you know who you are and what you want, nothing can shake you. The opinions of others won't matter. The fear of judgment won't stop you. The distractions won't pull you away from your path. You'll move through life with confidence, knowing that your direction comes from within, not from the outside world. This is the secret most people never realize. The answers aren't out there. They're inside you, but you'll never find them if you're constantly drowning in noise. So make the choice today to silence the distractions, step away from the chaos, and reconnect with yourself. Because when you do, you'll finally see that everything you've been searching for has been within you all along. Most people don't realize how much of their energy is wasted on things that don't serve them. They spend hours overthinking, worrying about things they can't control, and stressing over opinions that don't matter. They scroll through social media, comparing their life to someone else's highlight reel. They complain about their situation, but never take action to change it. And then they wonder why they feel stuck. They wonder why they're exhausted, unfulfilled, and frustrated with where they are. Here's the truth. Your energy is your most valuable resource. Where you direct it will determine the direction of your life. If you constantly give your energy to negativity, distractions, and things outside your control, you will stay exactly where you are. But if you take that same energy and channel it toward your growth, your goals, and your well-being, everything will change. Think about it. Every time you complain, every time you dwell on the past, every time you engage in drama, you are spending energy that could have been used to build the life you want. Every time you say yes to things that drain you, every time you let fear hold you back, you are leaking energy that could have been used to move you forward. You have to protect your energy like your future depends on it, because it does. You have to be intentional about what you focus on. Stop wasting time worrying about what other people think. Stop engaging in conversations that drain you. Stop letting distractions pull you away from your goals. Your energy is too precious to be wasted on things that don't serve you. When you start protecting your energy, you will feel a shift. You will have more clarity, more motivation, and more power to take action. You will stop feeling exhausted all the time because you will no longer be wasting energy on things that don't matter. You will finally have the focus you need to make real progress in your life. This is why boundaries are so important. Boundaries are not about shutting people out or being selfish. They are about deciding what is worth your time and energy. They are about protecting your peace. If something drains you, step away from it. If someone constantly brings negativity into your life, distance yourself. If a habit isn't serving you, replace it with one that does. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't owe anyone an apology for taking care of your mental and emotional health. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who do the most. They are the ones who know how to manage their energy. They know how to say no. They know how to focus on what truly matters. They don't waste time on things that don't align with their goals. They don't allow distractions to pull them away from their purpose. And that's exactly why they succeed. The good news, you can do the same. You don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to stop leaking energy into things that don't move you forward. Make a decision today. No more distractions. No more unnecessary stress. No more wasting energy on things outside your control. Instead, put that energy into your growth, into your health, into your goals, into becoming the best version of yourself. Because when you do, you'll realize something powerful. You were never stuck. You were just giving your energy to the wrong things. And the second you start protecting your energy, everything else will start to fall into place. Most people live their lives reacting. They wake up and immediately check their phone, letting notifications, emails, and other people's opinions set the tone for their day. They go through their routine on autopilot. handling responsibilities, putting out fires, and responding to whatever demands come their way. By the time the day ends, they feel drained, overwhelmed, and frustrated. Like they've spent the entire day doing things, yet somehow made no real progress on what actually matters to them. This happens because they're not being intentional with their time. They're not deciding how they want to spend their energy. They're just giving it away to whatever comes at them. And over time, that pattern creates a life where they feel stuck, lost, and unfulfilled. But it doesn't have to be that way. The moment you start living with intention, the moment you stop reacting and start choosing how you spend your time, everything changes. Intentionality is about knowing what truly matters to you and making sure your actions align with that. It's about taking control of your focus, your energy, and your time so that you're not just busy, you're productive in a way that moves your life forward. It's about making decisions based on your values, your priorities, and your goals, rather than just going through the motions. Think about your daily routine. How much of it is spent on things that actually contribute to your growth, your happiness, or your success? How much of it is spent on distractions, obligations you don't really care about, and mindless habits that keep you from reaching your potential? If you feel like you're not making progress in your life, it's not because you're incapable. It's not because you don't have enough time. It's because you're not being intentional with the time you do have. Imagine waking up every morning with a clear sense of purpose. Imagine knowing exactly what you want to focus on and setting boundaries to protect that focus. Imagine ending each day feeling accomplished because you spent your time on things that actually matter. That kind of clarity and direction is possible, but only if you take back control of your time. So how do you do that? Start by identifying your priorities. What are the things that actually matter to you? What are the goals, dreams, and personal values that deserve your attention? Once you're clear on those, look at your daily habits. Are they aligned with your priorities, or are they filled with distractions, obligations, and energy-draining activities that don't serve you? The next step is to eliminate what doesn't matter. You don't have to say yes to everything. You don't have to respond to every text or email immediately. You don't have to waste hours scrolling through social media comparing yourself to others. You don't have to spend time with people who drain your energy. You have the right to protect your time. In fact, you must. Because if you don't, the world will take it from you. Once you remove what doesn't matter, you need to start prioritizing what does. Make time for the things that fuel your growth. Block out distractions. Set clear goals for each day. And most importantly, follow through. Being intentional isn't just about making plans. It's about taking action. This is what separates successful people from everyone else. They don't just work hard, they work on the right things. They don't just stay busy, they stay focused. They don't let life happen to them, they take control of their life. And when you make that shift, when you start living with intention, you'll be amazed at how quickly everything starts to fall into place. Because here's the truth. You're not stuck. You're not behind. You're not missing anything. You just need to stop reacting and start choosing how you spend your time. Stop giving your energy to things that don't serve you. Stop waiting for motivation, the perfect moment, or someone else's approval. You already have everything you need to create the life you want. You just have to be intentional about making it happen.
ሰላም ለኪ ማርያም ውድስት በልሳነ ኩሉ ፍጥረት ታቦት አንቲ ዘሙሴ ጽላት ዘሕግ ወዘስራት ሰላም ለኪ ገይበ ብሩር ጽሩይ ወመቅደሃ ንጹሕ ሐሊብ ማርያም መሶብ ዘመና ልሁብ እንተ ጾርኪ ሲሳየ ሕዝብ ሰላም ለኪ ትርሲተ ቤቱ ሰናይ ለነ ነቢይ ሃጌ ወወለተ አንቲ ዘሰሎሞን አርጌ